Our guest speaker for this month's webinar is Dr. Apa Christian Obazin, who is a fellow West African College of Physicians. He is also a fellowship graduate and an MPH holder. He also obviously has MBBS. He's a public health physician and an epidemiologist that is currently based in Nigeria. He's a zonal mission representative of CMDA Nigeria Southeast Zone. He's also the immediate past chairman of CMDA Nigeria Ebonyi State Chapter. He's currently married to a pretty kind wife and he's blessed with 3 children. So we are honored to have you in our midst. Can you take over the floor, please?
Thank you so much for having me talk to us this evening. The topic before us this evening is from local to global, scaling your professional career. So we are going to look at it together. Thank you, Dr. Prince, for accepting to share the screen for me. I'm grateful about that. So, all right. I hope you can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Beautiful. Right. So, this is our outline. We're going to look at the objectives of our discussion this evening. We're going to look at the local opportunities, the global opportunities. We'll look at the process of scalability, strategies for global career development, challenges, and we'll conclude and share some recommendations and have a discussion with us. So, number one objective is to identify the local opportunities in professional career development, to identify the global opportunities in professional career development, and to discuss the process of scaling from local to global in professional career pathway. So scaling is a process of making something larger and larger. So when you have something that is small and you want to scale it, your intention, your objective is to make it larger, to make it more global. Global career development is about expanding your professional reach beyond the local, beyond the setting where you are. So when you begin to make your career to develop, it means you are expanding it. You want it to move away from where you are to other global setting. You're able to reach out to more people. You're able to make more impact. You're able to drive more influence using your professional career. When this happens, it can lead to a broadened horizon. Working with international teams and clients can provide new perspectives and innovative ideas in your professional and in your career growth. Enhances employability. So when you scale your career from local to global, it makes you more employable. It makes you build more skill that will make you more impactful, both in your environment and globally. It provides diverse opportunities, access to a wider range of job markets and potential career pathway. So these are the things that can happen when you scale your professional career. So developing a global mindset is not just about understanding different businesses, about what you do. It also includes appreciating and adapting to diverse cultural contexts. So for you to be able to scale your career from local to global, you need to adapt to diverse cultural contexts. This adaptability can make you a more versatile and valuable employee, capable of navigating complex international landscapes. Now, let's look at local opportunities that we have here in Nigeria. One of it is maybe you get into the medical school and you have an MBBS certificate. You're a medical doctor that's going to practice in Nigeria. That's a great local opportunity that can give you a platform for scaling globally. So if you don't have MBBS at the local setting, you may not have something to build on. For instance, you are in the medical career. So an MBBS provides a platform, a foundation to begin to build on to scale your career. So it could be Master of Public Health, that's MPH. It could be an MSc in Nigeria or a PhD in Nigeria. So these are local opportunities that can form foundation for scaling. So this goes to say that for you to be able to scale, you need to have a local foundation that can be scaled. Now, you can also pursue academics in Nigeria as a local opportunity. You can become a vice chancellor, you can become a deputy vice chancellor, you can become a provost of a school, you can become a dean. So these are opportunities that are available locally for you to build on. Then there are many local scholarship opportunities like FETP, Field Epidemiology Training Program, which I am privileged to have benefited from and leveraged. So it's a scholarship program that will give you an MPH certificate and also give you a fellowship certificate to be trained as a certified epidemiologist by the US CDC. So that's a great local opportunity that people can leverage. Then for doctors who are practicing in Nigeria, they can go into residency to train as resident doctors. It's a great local opportunity. For instance, somebody trains as a resident doctor, becomes a consultant, has a fellowship, maybe in the West African College or the National College. So that person is able to have a platform to scale globally, maybe to get some global scholarship, to do some other programs abroad, maybe to write some exams that will give them the opportunity to travel out, maybe write PLAB, USMLE, Canadian exam, even Australian exam. So you need to have that basic foundation to be able to do that by having MBBS. Then if you have these trainings, they also prepare you better to have more skills when you go global to build on. Then you also have health system leadership as local opportunity. Ministers of health, commissioners for health, CMDs of teaching hospitals, CMACs, deputy CMACs, and other leadership opportunities in the health system locally. They are all opportunities that exist locally that can be scaled. You can work, you can support the development partners like the WHO, the UNICEF, other NGOs that exist locally. There are local opportunities there for you to work, gain experience, and you can scale it globally. From WHO Nigeria, you can also move globally to other regions to also scale your career there. Then research. Research is another great opportunity that exists locally. There are many research that are ongoing now. There are many EP studies in the area of Lassa fever that have been conducted in Nigeria. People support these researches locally, and they can afford you global opportunities to also scale up what you do in research. There are so many vaccine trials that are in the pipeline locally, especially in the area of Lassa fever. These AP studies that were done in Nigeria, most of them focused on Lassa fever. I was privileged to be part of these AP studies that happened in Nigeria. Currently, there is one that is ongoing in Owo, in Ondo State, Irua in Edo State, then Abakaliki because these are the epicenters for Lassa fever. So this epi study that is going on now is to prepare us for a vaccine trial that we are looking to have next year. So these are local opportunities that one could leverage and now scale them to have some global impacts. Right. So the global opportunities now, we've looked at the local opportunities. Now, these are the global opportunities that one can scale up to. For instance, those that are in the medical career, there are many scholarships to have MPH, to have MSc, to have PhD abroad, and you become a global figure. You have international consultancies and researches that are global opportunities. You have global health practices. You have public health practices that you can also scale up to globally. Then we've talked about the PLAB pathway, the USMLE, the Canadian medical exams, the Australian medical exams, may or may not complete the exam from the local setting, then practice abroad. So some people choose to, while they are practicing in the local setting, they are writing some of these global exams, while in the local, they qualify through the exams, they now move abroad to work. Then you also have people that after this exam, they now travel to practice abroad. Then there is something I want to bring out here. In scaling from local to global, there are two pathways. There are global figures that remain local, but they go global. They go for international conferences. They go for international research works. They support building of guidelines globally. They support so many policies that happen in the sector of health globally, while they are local. So their setting is local, but they are global figures. So there are also people who are practicing in the global context, and they are also residing globally. So these are the two categories of persons and the two categories of ways that one can also scale globally. So that you have scaled globally does not mean you must be abroad. That's the point I want to bring out. So there are many global figures who are in the local setting, but they are operating globally. Right. So let's look at the process of scalability. For you to scale, there is a process that can be followed. You need to lay a good foundation locally. Start small and grow it with dedication locally. A strong local foundation makes it easier to scale globally. If you are a school dropout locally, it can affect the opportunities to scale globally. So you need to finish what you are doing locally strongly. Then you can now build on it and scale. It's this balance that lays the groundwork for seamless scalability without compromising on local relevance. Leveraging local insights like acknowledge and harness the unique perspectives local opportunities offer for scaling globally. Right, so let's see strategies for global career development. So language is key. So we need to be intentional. If you intend to scale your career globally, it may entail learning a new language. So if you are able to learn new languages and demonstrate commitment, this can open doors to job opportunities in non-English speaking countries like French, for instance, Spanish, and many other languages. Cultural competence. You need to understand and respect cultural differences. This is crucial in globalized work environment. You need to engage in cultural training programs, read about different customs and business etiquettes. These will help you to be able to adapt globally. The international networking. Networking is key in being able to scale globally. You need to join global professional networks. In fact, that's an example of what we are doing today. I believe this network that is being driven by Dr. Carlo has given most of us opportunities to scale our career globally. Network is key. With network, you're able to meet friends. Your challenges are solved. Things are made easier. The pathway becomes clearer to you. Platforms like LinkedIn offer groups and forums where you can engage with professionals worldwide. You get to meet other professionals, interact with them, rub minds together, and you are able to also build on what you already know and become a better person. Participating in international webinars and online courses can also expand your network. Like this webinar we are having now is an international webinar. So I'm sure when you engage in this, your capacity is built. You begin to see opportunities that you can leverage to grow and develop your career globally. Online courses, like there's this online courses by the University of Washington. They have many courses that are very, very good. There are some courses on project management, leadership in health. They have monitoring and evaluation. So many courses, epidemiology courses that one could do. I've done a couple of them, and it gives you certificates. It also builds your knowledge, your capacity. These are ways you can scale up your career globally. Participating in international webinar is very key. Then leveraging artificial intelligence for career growth. Artificial intelligence is reshaping many industries, offering new tools for career development. Assist with personalized learning, skill assessment, and even job matching. So these are things that artificial intelligence could help us achieve now. Then mentorship program. Mentorship cannot be overemphasized. It gives insight and guidance on your career path. By the time you interact with your mentor or a mentor, it provides valuable and invaluable advice, help you navigate workplace challenges, and offer support in achieving your career goals. Then, are there challenges one could face in scaling? Yes. One of the challenges is limited resources. Resources in terms of funds, resources in terms of time, resources in terms of material. So it could be a challenge, but by the time you do most of the things we have spoken about before now, you may be able to mitigate some of these challenges. Lack of clarity on career pathway. Some other persons, it's not clear to them about the career pathway they want to take. It's like embarking on a journey. You need to know the destination you want to go to. It helps you to book your flight. It helps you to have a plan on how you are going to navigate. Indecision and procrastination, delays. Some persons, it is clear to them what career pathway they want to embark on, but they are procrastinating about it. Then some government policies can also pose challenges. The government, because of the brain drain, may also want to put some policies that begin to pose as challenges towards people's career scaling globally. Then in conclusion, yes, it's possible to scale professional career from local to global. Clarity of purpose is needed. Planning is essential. You need to plan. You need to plan and plan and plan. When you plan, you get it right. If you don't plan, then you may have planned to fail. Networking and team spirit is core and essential. You must be a team player who is able to learn from what other persons are doing. You must network. Networking is very key. Then strategic learning, understanding international regulations, and leveraging advanced technologies are needed in scaling our career globally. Some recommendations include prayer. You need to pray to God for clarity of purpose, clarity of career pathway, so that we know where we are going to. You need to plan. You need to plan. You cannot overemphasize the importance of planning. Planning will help us to mobilize resources towards what we have planned. So you need to mobilize resources, network, team spirit. Think global from local. You must think big from local for you to be able to scale. Yeah. So how to scale your business. So you can see the diagram here. So teamwork is here. You can see that it's step by step. You move from step 1 to step 2, and you are moving on. When you do this with teamwork, with networking, the sky is not your limit. That's the arrow pushing even beyond the sky. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having me. I don't know if we'll have some questions that we can look at and generate discussions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Hasfa, can you complete the questions? Okay, in the absence of Dr. Hasfa, if you have any question at all, this is the time to ask your question, if there is any question. Okay, so can I ask a question, Dr. Akbar? Can you throw more light on?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been
Yeah.
talking. It seems like you can't hear me.
Yeah, it looked like you were muted.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was going to ask him. Nobody was asking, but I wanted to ask him if to clarify on that bit of working as a global professional. So, for instance, if you're living in the UK but you're a Nigerian, say for instance, and your work is just focused in UK, it's not cutting across any other country, even though you're a Nigerian. Are you a global expert, or are you still a local expert? How would you tease out that?
Yeah. So thank you so much for that question. So one can look at it in two ways. So if you look at it from the UK perspective, you are operating locally there, but depending on the reach of your influence, depending on the reach of your impacts, even as you are in the UK, you can also be a global figure. So maybe by the way of the researches you have conducted and published, and people are able to read what you have published, you are making impact globally. So as a researcher who is well published, you are a global figure. So being a global figure is not setting based. You can be in the UK, but you are a global figure. You are not traveling to other countries physically to go and work there, but your work is reaching out to people globally. I don't know if that makes sense. So
Yes,
one
yes.
can look at it two ways. So you can be in the UK and you are local, and you can be in the UK, you are global, depending on how far your influence is driving and is touching people. One of the ways to do that is through your research, through the webinars you engage in and impact lives, like what you are doing now from the UK. You are coordinating this platform. You are a global figure. You're a global figure. You also have instances where people travel around physically from the setting where they are. Like I have a couple of examples from Nigeria. There are some renowned professors of public health, like Professor Onoka, Professor BSc Uzochukwu, who is in Enugu. You have Professor Onwujekwe, who is in Enugu. These are global figures that travel physically. The other day, they are in the US, they are in Canada, they are in the UK, trying to drive global influence. So they are global figures as well. So you can become a global figure by traveling to make impacts, to showcase the impact of your career. You can also be a global figure through the research impacts you are making. Yeah.
In other words, you don't need to travel out of your country to make a global impact. What's your advice on the brain drain? You know, I feel that people think that it's only when they move out of the country that they begin to make global impact. So what's your take on that? How do we balance the need for moving out of the country and the need for staying in the country and still make global relevance, if that's okay?
Yeah. Thank you. I think it's a matter of clarity of purpose, conviction, and also knowing what God wants you to do at a particular point in time. So yes, so that's the way I want to approach it. So some individuals, okay, travel maybe because of the security challenges that exist in the nation. Some also travel maybe because of the economic crisis. I mean, you want to go to a place that the economy is more stable. So some others travel because the global opportunities they want to leverage are better harnessed when you are in the setting. Like if you want to go to the UK, there are some level of trainings you want to engage in that you may not be able to participate in virtually. So you need to be there physically. So it could also necessitate your relocation. You want to go to the US because there are some trainings you want to capacities you want to build that may not be built virtually. So you want to be there physically. So these are the things that can also drive people moving from their location to another setting. Yeah, so I think that's the way I want to approach it. So the security situation, the economic situation, hearing from God, because God could say, okay, yeah, I want you to be in the US. There are so many other things I want you to do in that setting. Maybe you've completed the assignment here in Nigeria. Then some other persons are moving out of peer pressure. Yeah, which I try to discourage. Let your movement be out of convention. Let it be necessitated. Let it not be out of pressure. Maybe out of because your friend has traveled and you want to travel. You haven't planned it through. You haven't thought it through. You want to travel because your friend has traveled, or you want to travel because every other person is traveling. So that way, even when you meet some challenges globally, it may be difficult to face those challenges because, I mean, you traveled without plan.
Yeah, that's really great answers from you. If I may ask
Thank
another
you.
question, the people listening to you are from a lot more background than medicine. So how can you, if someone is from other related, other backgrounds apart from medicine, how can they make both global and local impact?
Yeah. So I thought about that. Yeah, that some persons here may also have other backgrounds. So it's not different from the opportunities that also exist in medicine. It's just that they are now contextualized to your own background. So the steps that we've mentioned here are adaptable to the different career choices that like assuming you are an engineer and you are engaged in IT. So IT is topical now. It's the people that have IT skills are sought for the way medical professionals are sought for. So the same things we talked about, how to the scalability, the strategies for scaling from local to global, the challenges that we talked about. There are also similar challenges that can be experienced by people in other career pathway. So the recommendations we have made, the pieces of advice we have given in the medical context can also be applied to these other career choices to be able to scale them globally. I mean, they are the same. You can, as an IT personnel, you can have global influence even from Nigeria or even from another local country. Some people also take on virtual jobs. They are in one location, they are supporting other processes in other countries virtually through technologies that have come. So you can actually drive influence, just like people who are growing career in economic pathway, in accounting pathway, like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who was the Minister of Finance in Nigeria in the last dispensation. Now is in the US also growing the economy. They're trying to also contribute to the global influence. So I mean, it's the same thing. The same steps that can be taken to scale globally also applies to other career pathway. Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask again? With practical examples, you've talked about things around training. You mentioned a number of online courses that you've been through, and even a fellowship that you were a beneficiary to. Is there a way for you to sort of illustrate how this has impacted your career growth and has left a global footprint? Just how people can leverage on what sometimes when you're doing a course, you might not necessarily see the immediate benefit or something like that, but if you show the light, maybe it can encourage people to start engaging in what we do in some of the webinars and other trainings.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Carlo. Yes, the FETP program that I did was sponsored by the US CDC. It gave me opportunities to do papers and presented them internationally in international conferences. So that was a huge one for me, because those international papers had a wide reach, had a wide readership. That was one of the things he did for me. On a lighter note, he gave me the opportunities to also travel to the US. Yeah, so maybe if I hadn't engaged in that local opportunity to do a FETP program, maybe I would not be able to reach out to people globally as I have done. It has also given me the opportunity to support the World Health Organization in some consultancy arrangement, to be able to support the World Health Organization in polio programs, polio eradication programs, surveillance programs, immunization programs. These are like contracts that you do for the World Health, and you are able to also reach out to great number of persons, and you are involved in policy making to a great extent. So it has also helped me to build my leadership skill in the area of health, in the area of serving God, because most of those activities that are taken in the modules of the certificate courses that I also leveraged in the University of Washington prepared me to be a global leader in the area of public health. Prepared me, like the leadership in health, the program management course, the monitoring and evaluation courses that I benefited from, made me better equipped to also influence the global setting in the area of public health. So these are the opportunities that I've been able to harness because of these opportunities that I had to be trained as a field epidemiologist and in these certificate courses. Are you still with me?
I was actually talking and not knowing that my microphone was muted. So thank you for your answer. My last question, before I open the microphone for others, if they've got more questions to ask, would be you touched on the the importance of leveraging on AI to to scale global impact. Are they things that maybe specific things that AI can help us do? I know you've mentioned some of those things, but practical examples, if you've got any that can be useful to the audience. It's my experience that not a lot of people know what AI is, and they don't even know that they may have been using it in one way or the other. But is there something you would want to bring out more from that AI angle? Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, from the AI angle, there is a lot of things that the AI could help you do. For instance, if you are designing a research, I mean, AI could help you to unravel the areas that are not clear. Through the AI, you'll be able to, maybe you are thinking about the best method to adapt in the research you want to embark on. The AI tool can also help you to suggest some models that you can use to navigate. Now, AI could also help you to maybe have some skills that you can build without having to travel, without having to pay for them. You can build analysis skill. That a lot of things that the AI can help you do while you are not traveling about. So it saves resources for us. There's a whole lot AI could help you do. Maybe the new innovations in the area you are thinking of going into, the AI can help you unravel the new innovations in those areas, the pathway you want to grow. So it's like trying to keep you on the speed to give you information on the latest things that are happening in the area you want to go to. So yeah, it's like a navigator that can also help your pathway to go in a fast direction. Thank you. Can you still hear me?
Oh, this is me again. I try to mute myself when I finish speaking. So when I start talking, I don't know that I still muted. Yes, I was saying thank you for your response. And in future webinars, we'll look into AI in detail, how it can help us in many aspects of our professional life. I don't know if anybody has any more questions to ask or any experience or example to share just to enrich our discussion. Okay, I think that the silence would mean that we are all happy with what we have so far. So thank you so much, Dr. Appa, for your presentation. That was really, really, really great. And I have benefited from it from the beginning to the end. I've learned new things. I also think that participants would have benefited from it as well. So
thank you.
Just to say thank you, sir, and also to say thank you to Dr. Hasfa for moderating. By way of announcement, we will be having our next webinar on the 14th.
Please, can I ask a question?
Oh, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, please, thank you so much for the wonderful and insightful presentations from Christiana Akbar and all that have spoken. Is quite interesting to be here, and I appreciate the fact that you have the hearts of our people at in your hearts. Thank you so much. We pray that this will really give birth to deeper impacts, in the life of as many as possible. My question would be, please, what advice will you give to a JJC like me who just arrived UK, to write exams like PLAB 1, PLAB 2, but I want to specialize in public health. So when I saw this, when I saw your notification, I felt, oh wow, let me come and listen to maybe ways or pathways I can follow to, um, progress in my career and advance in my career, especially here in the UK. I've heard a lot of things. Some are discouraging, some are encouraging. What do you advise, or what do you say to me? How can you advise me on the pathway to advance in my career? I am writing. I just wrote PLAB 1, waiting for the results. I intend to write PLAB 2 immediately, and at the same time, any other exam I may need to write, so that I could quickly seek for a job and establish myself here and progress in the career.
All right. Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. So there are two things I would advise that you do. Number one is you need to pray about this career choice. Career choice is like marriage. Once you get it right, you have peace. There's peace that you will have inside of you, and you will know that you've got it right. So that will be convincing. Number two is that you need a mentor who probably has gone through that pathway, like the public health you talk about. So it's an area that Dr. Carlo has gone through, and there are so many knowledge that he has, so much knowledge that he has in that area. He will be able to guide somebody who is beginning to make initial steps. And through those guidance, that person is able to even be faster than those that had gone through that pathway. But without mentoring, there are some mistakes that may not be avoidable that through mentoring you could have avoided. So you need to get a mentor, discuss things with the mentor. The mentor is able to guide you on the best way to go to achieve the career pathway that you are going into. So that's the answer I want to give to you. Pray to God, then go to a mentor who has gone through that pathway. You will learn a lot, and you will be able to go fast. Yeah, and in this context, I have an example that exists already. Thank you.
All right, just to add to what our guest speaker has said, so that's also why we have the platform where we post information around public health jobs and other things that are relevant to public health and other professions, not just public health. And you are also already in a group of people who are aspiring into the same line, who might be at their different stages of writing the exam, whether it's PLAB 1 or 2, who may have one or two things to tell you. So I think it's a good thing to sit tight. It's a process, like the speaker said, it can take some time. But one thing it does for you is that it gives you a leverage. Some of the challenges I may have faced, I don't think most of us will be facing that now, because we are democratizing some of those information so that you don't have the same bottlenecks that we had or I had when I was just starting afresh. And you can always shout out in the group, in the Telegram group or in the WhatsApp group if you're there, to shout out to say, this is what my challenges are, what can I do? The reason why it's usually good to do that in the group is that there may be some people who can also learn from the responses that people in the group will provide. And but if it is solely personal, that you don't want it as a group thing, you can always reach out to a number of people in the group. You can make friends from the group. You can send me a chat as well. and we see how some of those things can be sorted. But be be assured that we are all here to help each other. Even myself, I'm still aspiring. The speaker who spoke today is my mentor, so and has been my mentor for quite a long time. So even if I am in a different locality now, it does not remove the fact that I still go back to him to ask for counsel in different areas that he might be of help. So build long-term relationships, build long-term professional connections like we're doing now. It will really help. Okay, so that will be from my own end. I don't know whether it helped at all. Salem.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. It really helps.
Okay. Any other final questions before I begin to draw the discussion to a close? Okay, so thank you everyone that participated. I was saying that the next meeting will be on the 14th of December. So we're trying to do it second week of December so that folks will have opportunity to enjoy their Christmas.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.